Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your good friend Matt. We're back again here today at the only place that we always can be. And as you already know, that is Matt's Wrestling Collectibles right here on YouTube. Today, we're going over WrestleMania 42 predictions. We are going to do the review of WrestleMania 42. We're going to jump right into it. It's going to be a quick little video here, but another episode of Let's Talk About It. And as we talk about what has gone on over the weekend at WrestleMania, a two-night spectacular. It was absolutely amazing. Couple of down points, couple of high points, always the way it's going to be. But I think overall, I would definitely give it a high rating, which we will do that at the end of this video. We will talk about it. But let's talk about the predictions that were made, and let's see where we were at. So, WrestleMania 42, Night 1. I'm going to just go through this, quickly here. Nothing is in the correct order. Obviously, we'll end with the big matches, but nothing here is in direct, complete order. If I am reading them off and they wind up being in the actual order, then that's great. But if not, no big deal. Here we are. We're going to start it off right now. Night 1. We had Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, and LA Knight. Yeah, right? We had them coming out first thing on Night 1, and my pick was the Usos and LA Knight, and they did take that in that match. I was surprised because I picked the Usos and LA Knight just because I figured there'd be some weird way that I Show Speed played factor into his team losing. And I just figured that was kind of going to be what we were going to see. It was a little bit surprising to me in the same sense because I was like, do we allow the World Tag Team Champions to take a loss at WrestleMania, even though the titles are not on the line? But it does make sense, whether it's Backlash, whether it's SummerSlam, whatever's going on, Money in the Bank, all that great stuff. It is a good setup for the Usos to go back after the tag titles. And of course, I'm sure they want the Usos to eventually retire somewhere down the road with, I would assume, what is maybe the longest total combined reign of days. Maybe they also want them to have the highest amount of tag titles as far as, just individual reigns without the day counter essentially with it as well. But maybe total time held and as well as total reigns. But I do think the Usos have a good chance at eventually being in that conversation if they are not already. I know that they are already up there as far as like I said, days reigned and also title reigns. But Usos and LA Knight, they take the victory there. We are up on the night. Up next, we had Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in the unsanctioned match. And as much as I did like this match, there are a few things that I guess I kind of, I don't know, I play into it different ways. We've seen them in a backstage brawl. We've seen them go all through the arena. We've seen crazy moments with them. So it felt like it needed to be a little bit more. But I understand at the same time, I'm sure for WrestleMania, they're probably like, listen, we don't need you guys taking forever to get up the ramp, have a backstage segment, be beating each other up all back there, and then come back down this ramp all the way to the ring to end the match. Because, of course, we're going to say, hey, let's keep this in the ring, keep this in front of the people who paid quite a lot of money to be there. And that is, no doubt there by any means. But I get it. It had to be in the ring. It had to be in front of the fans. And I think that was a really, a good point to what they were doing. They wanted everybody to make sure that they were getting their money's worth and that we weren't having to watch everything on a monitor or on a screen. So I think that plays factor into it. But Jacob Fatu, my pick and the person who came out the victor in this. And Jacob Fatu, I'll tell you what a reign he is on. And can't wait to see what goes moving forward with this now storyline that I guess they're going to build with him and Roman Reigns. I genuinely thought that Jacob was coming out to kind of rebuild the bloodline. I thought Roman at that moment was going to get the Usos and Jacob Fatu back in his corner. Obviously, this happened on Monday Night Raw, but just to throw it in there, I mean, I thought that's what was going to happen. I thought we were going to see the four of them come back together. And in turn, I thought we would see, Solo and the MFTs somehow keep this bloodline thing going. I'm sure we will. I'm sure something will happen, and we'll have to see how it plays out, right? But up next, we had the women's world title, Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vaquer. I wanted so bad for Stephanie to retain the title, but Liv is world champion yet again. I don't know. I get to a point with people. It's not that I don't like them. It's not that I don't appreciate them. It's more so I just don't think they need to be in a certain a certain storyline, a championship role. I don't think they need it at certain times. And right now, I don't think Liv needs it. I think it would have been nice to see Liv lose to Stephanie. Stephanie retained the belt. Okay, WrestleMania is over. Now we see Liv build it back, build it back, build it back. And, eventually, maybe somewhere, it would have made more sense. I just didn't care for it. And also too, I don't know what's going on. This is not like an attack or anything. I never want to feel like or have anybody feel that this is how I am coming off to a topic or a situation. But looking at Liv that night, also looking at her on Monday Night Raw, I don't know if like maybe something's going on in her personal life. If she's going through something, of course, it's not our business to know everything, but I hope that everything is okay. Her appearance, she just doesn't look good. And I don't mean that in a sense of like beauty. I just mean that she does not look like she's doing good right now. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it. If you have, let me know in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Put it in the comments. Tell me if I'm crazy. You tell me. But I don't know. Just didn't seem like she was looking healthy in some ways, if you will. But I hope all is well with Liv Morgan. And from there, that match, like I said, it was good. I'm not saying it was a bad match. I just, the Judgment Day and the interference and all this other stuff, it's just all the same thing. And I think that it would have been a lot nicer to see Stephanie retain. So either way. Up next, we have Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. I already kind of figured that the AJ train was over here. I picked Becky Lynch to win. She did win, and I think it was a decent match. I don't know. I just feel like every time it seems that Becky and AJ put on a match, as they have now had, I don't know, 4 or 5 matches against each other, I just don't feel like the chemistry is there. I don't feel like it works well. It's just me. Again, who knows? Maybe you guys feel differently. Maybe you feel the same. Let me know in the comments, of course. But I don't know. Becky Lynch, I feel like she had to go over regardless. We'll see where it goes for AJ from here. And it was weird because I didn't know what would happen. I figured maybe we would split it. Maybe we would have 2 for 2 on both sides. And we'll talk more about that later. But AJ losing her belt. And as we already know what went on with CM Punk, as we'll get to that. But I guess that's what it was. It was a 2 for 2 on the losing side. So, but Becky Lynch does take the victory. I did get that one there as well. We had the women's tag fatal 4-way. It was Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. It was Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And I always say that wrong. Valkyria. I don't even know. I say it wrong every time, but it's all right. We're going to get through it. And then we had the Bellas, Nikki and Brie, and then of course we had Nia and Lash, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the champions. Now, at the beginning of this, the Bellas did come out, or they were the last actually to come out, I believe. They were the last to come out on the stage. And when they were coming out last, I immediately said, oh, okay, we're letting the Bellas come out last. I don't know if we're going to see a title change for them, but if we were, it would make the most sense. We've seen that many of times. So, either way, the Bellas come out. Nikki is still hurt. Nikki announces that she has a replacement and a good friend. And Paige's music plays. How insane is it? I know some people heard the leak a few days ago. There was talks about it. But to see it actually happen, to see that screen light up, to see Paige's entrance start to take place and get underway, incredible. I mean, amazing that she's back. I wish her nothing but the best. I hope she remains injury-free. And can't wait to just see how things progress for her. So very excited for that. And they, of course, wind up winning the match, Brie and Paige, to become the new women's tag team champions. Now, I will say in this, personally, I would not have mind seeing any other team win or Nia and Lash retain without Paige or Brie being pinned, and that would have been fine as well. But I did pick the Bellas to win this match because I just had this weird feeling. I said, it's probably going to be the time that they really give them their last run together. It's probably what's going to be, and we'll go from there. So essentially, the Bellas did still take that victory regardless. So, hey, it worked out well, right? So we move on next to Seth Rollins versus Gunther. My pick was Gunther. I figured with the momentum and everything that's going on, I said for Seth Rollins to win this match, it would just be absolutely just taking it off the rails. It just wouldn't make sense. It didn't even seem like it would be a thing. So we picked Gunther on that one. Of course, we did pick up the victory again with Gunther. We move over now to the WWE Undisputed Championship match, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I did pick Randy Orton, and unfortunately, it was retained by Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes, it's not that I have anything against him. Again, love Cody Rhodes. I do love seeing him be champion. I just was very much ready to see Randy get that title back, get that 15th. But of course, Backlash, SummerSlam, all on the horizon. I think we see that as we move forward. I also will say this. Randy Orton says his contract goes for 4 more years. So we are supposed to see him all the way up until WrestleMania 46. Between now and then, do you guys think that he will get that 15th? I do believe that. I do believe that he will get that 15th world title. But do you think he will tie Ric Flair for 16? Or do you think that they will have it in the history books as Cena, Flair, Orton, Triple H? And of course, I should have even probably rounded off with the top 5, but I wouldn't know who would fit that spot. I would have to think, after Triple H, who would have had that many world title reigns? I don't know. I think Hogan, I mean, if we're going by just WWE, but of course we're not, because Flair didn't have 16 WWE championships. I don't know. How do you gauge that one? It's tough. But either way, Randy Orton took the loss. It was just a weird match. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. I think there was some good parts in it, but it was just overall not what I expected. It's no disrespect to either one of them. They are obviously absolutely phenomenal in what they do. I just don't think the story of it played out well. I think it was very off. It just didn't make sense to me. But that's just me, guys. I would love to see your comments, your opinions, all in the comments below. Make sure you leave them there and let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I indifferent? What is it? You let me know down in those comments. But that was night one. Night one, we had 5 out of 7 matches correct. So, not all too bad. We move on to night 2, and we start off with Oba versus Brock. I actually picked Brock to win this because I figured it would build the storyline of Brock getting beat by Oba, and it would be like, all right, kid, we went back and forth for weeks. You kept putting me on my ass. We got in here. We went back and forth like 2 bulls. In the end, I came out the winner. Now, do I think that they should have went right into a Backlash story? I think it would have made sense. I think it would have made sense to say, hey, Brock and Oba meet for the first time, WrestleMania. Brock, you get the victory. All right, Backlash, you guys go at it again. Oba gets the victory. Now you guys are 1-1, and then we go to SummerSlam, Minneapolis. All right, Oba, you're going to go 2-for-1 over Brock Lesnar. That's where he retires. I think that's what would have made the most sense. I think there is some talk about things still happening. Gunther, Oba, who knows? But I do believe Brock will wrestle at SummerSlam, and we will see what happens there. I mean, of course, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be spectacular. Either way, it's gonna be something crazy to watch and to anticipate, I guess, at this point. But I hope that Brock does come back for SummerSlam. I feel like it would make the most sense, and who knows? We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. But I got good faith in that one. So we move on from that with Oba being the winner. IC title match. This was the 6-way ladder match. We had Penta defending against JD McDonough, Rusev, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, and Rey Mysterio. And as I said, guys, I said Penta would retain, and if he didn't retain, it would be Rusev. And I put JD as a very close tie in second, but I said I'll go with just Rusev as my pick of if it doesn't become a retained title. So, I will say it is kind of cool, though, if you think about it, in the very closing moments of the match, Rusev was on that ladder. I said, oh man, this is going to be it. I said, wow, if I pick this one perfect, how great would that be? Of course, it switched up. Penta did retain the title, so I'm still calling that one a victory for us, because when we have those larger matches, even like Elimination Chambers and stuff like that, I'll always sit there and be like, hey, Elimination Chambers going on. 6 guys are walking in. This is the champion. If the champion's not going to retain, this is my pick. And that's how I usually like to do things. If we can, if you guys are allowing it, let me know. Tell me, are you allowing it? Are you not allowing it? Is it all right? Can we call an audible here? But Penta retains the Intercontinental Championship. And fantastic work, as always. Penta is incredible. All of the guys in this match were incredible and amazing work. Especially when you really think about the high flying. I mean, between Penta, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, and Rey Mysterio, you got a ton of high flyers. Then you got Rusev, who's very brute, who's very brash. He's a very just, it's a powerhouse of a guy. JD McDonough kind of falls into like a mid-range of things. He can be a high flyer. He can be a good worker in the whole, grand scheme of the match. A lot of things that he could have offered. But it was just crazy to see so much high flying all in one match. And of course, in a ladder match at WrestleMania, that's what they're going to want. That's what they're going to want you to see. So we got it, though. That's all I know. We did get it. Now we move on from there. We had the United States title match. I put down Trick Willie, Trick Daddy. You already know he was going to get that victory over Sami Zayn, and it was a whoop that trick all night long. You know exactly what it is. So happy to see Trick Williams pick up that United States Championship. We also had the WWE Women's Championship. I picked Rhea to go over Jade. I just figured it was a very weird story. I said this is going to have to go back to Rhea. I knew that they wanted to complete the whole, quad box, if you will, of titles. It's like, okay, you won the SmackDown and the Raw Women's title, so you got the blue and the red strap titles. You had they had the blue in them with the white straps. But they, you had those titles. Now you've had the Women's World title. Now you got the WWE Women's Championship. And of course, it just builds Rhea more and more and more. She's a fantastic, fantastic talent. I hope the absolute best for her, and I hope we see her for many more years to come. Rhea Ripley looking like someone who maybe we will see all the way up until WrestleMania 50, 55. Who knows? We'll see how many more years she wants to keep going with it. But I see her future being very bright in WWE as it continues to just immense this amount of accomplishments and accolades. So Rhea Ripley picking up the victory there. We then had Finn Balor versus Dom Mysterio. I picked Finn to take this win, and Finn did just that. So Finn over Dom, I think it's perfect. I'm glad he came out as the Demon. I think it was a perfect setup to everything that we saw, and I really love that. I hope we see more of Finn Balor as the Demon. I also hope that we're finally going to get some new updated Finn Balor Demon Elites. That would be fantastic. That would be great because, as you can already tell, it's nothing more than I would want than to get another Finn Balor Ultimate or Elite in the Demon. And I do not have any at this moment. I do have a few Finn Balors. I think I have like 2 or 3 in the collection, but no Demons. So we'll definitely have to get one of those when the time comes, and looking forward to that. Up next, we had the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, and I did pick CM Punk to win this. I just had a feeling that he was going to, but as the story played out in the match, I'm happy to see the way it was. I'm glad to see Roman with the belt. I do understand the storylines and all the stuff that goes with it, and Punk hopefully getting somewhat of a little break in this main event picture, but I'm sure we will see him back again, as he already spoke to Cody Rhodes, as you guys may have seen again on the Raw After Mania, talking to Cody Rhodes about championships and, opportunities whenever they may just pop up or fall in your lap. And of course, that led to Cody, basically telling Punk, whenever you want, wherever you want, we'll do it for the belt. So who knows? I would like to see that. I think Punk, of course, I don't think it's going to be, hey, Punk, you went up against Roman at Mania, dropped the world title. Your next match is for the WWE Championship against Cody. Now you're going to win that. I don't think that's going to happen. But I can't wait for the day, and hopefully it will be very soon, with obviously this being, of course, the tail end of his career, and by no means am I, putting that out as bad vibes. It's just, it's the truth. Punk is obviously going to be on the last, chapter of his career sooner or later, and I would love to see him get that WWE World Championship, that WWE Undisputed World Championship, but Roman Reigns took the victory. With that wrapping up, we went 4 for 6 on night 2. That brought us to a total for both nights, 9 out of 13. So not too bad, 2 wrong on each night. It's not the end of the world, but 9 out of 13 right, that's not bad. Pretty good night all the way around. We also put a few things down here for returns. I put down Kevin Owens, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Stone Cold, The Rock. I put all that stuff down. We didn't see Stone Cold. We didn't see The Rock. We didn't see Bronson Reed. We didn't see Kevin Owens, but we did see Braun Breaker. We did see Bianca Belair, and we also saw the return of Paige. So, very cool. I mean, obviously, again, very happy to see people come back. I just had the idea that we'd see some other people, especially with Stone Cold, The Rock. I just kind of figured there would be some kind of playoff in it somewhere, but there wasn't. And I was even more surprised. I thought for a brief moment that with all the back and forth that Punk was going with Roman, and then Punk talking about The Rock and The Rock and Punk's past, I had a weird feeling. I said, what would happen if somehow, some way, Punk's about to pick up the victory, The Rock makes an appearance, boom, spear from Roman, 1, 2, 3. The opportunities, the options, the scenarios are endless. But this has been the review of WrestleMania 42, our predictions, my predictions, what we think was going to happen. And like I said, 5 for 7 on night 1, 4 out of 6 on night 2, a grand total of 9 out of 13 correct, and not a bad night when it comes to predictions. So, I hope you guys enjoyed WrestleMania 42 as much as I did. I would have to say, in the grand scheme of everything, on the grandest stage of them all, in this 2-night spectacular, what would I rate this out of 10? I am going to have to say, guys, I am going to say WrestleMania 42 was an 8.4 out of 10. I think it was an 8.4 out of 10. I think the Jacob and Drew match really drove that number up. The same thing, I think even the Gunther and Seth match, I think that was really good. Obviously, some of the returns, the whole thing with the Bellas, Paige, I think that brought it up. The Cody and Orton match, like I said, so-so. Oba beating Brock, definitely with everything the way that it happened, and especially that whole, scenario afterwards, definitely pumped it up as well. The Punk and Roman match was just absolutely fantastic all the way around when it comes to storytelling. It was absolutely phenomenal. And, of course, again, we got Rhea picking up the title again. Trick Williams with the U.S. title. Penta retaining in that crazy ladder match. There was a lot. The Demon, Finn Balor, comes back. So, how cool, though. But yes, an 8.4 out of 10 for me on WrestleMania 42. What say you down in the comments below? Let me know what your rating is out of 10 and what you think could have been better, could have been worse. You let me know down in the comments below, guys. And as always, I appreciate you. Hello. Easy now. I've been talking too long. I appreciate each and every single one of you for being here with me today. As always, another predictions, another review, another let's talk about it episode. And boy, are we talking about it. 22 minutes of talking about it. I think we talked too long. So, with that being said, if you haven't already, guys, get over to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're also hitting that bell icon. I don't know if those are up there. They're probably not. I'm just making things up now. But hit the bell icon, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're leaving me a comment on this video telling me all about WrestleMania 42, what you thought, what's your review, what is your grand total, what is your number on it, what is your rating. You tell me. Leave it in the comments below. As always, if you haven't already, guys, get over to the Facebook page as well. Matt's Wrestling Collectibles. We got both of them on there. We got the Facebook main page, my business page. You guys can follow that. All updates on the store and all different stuff on there. That'll always be there. If you follow the group page and you join that, you can interact with other people in the group. You can buy, sell, trade, post things, whatever you want to do, all wrestling related there. And last but not least, if you haven't already, get over to the MERCARI store page. All of this stuff is in the comments. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to put it in the comments now because I said it. So I am going to put it in the comments, but I'm also going to put it in the description of this video. So make sure you guys are checking that out. Follow me over on MERCARI because we got a bunch of stuff going up there this week. A lot of new stuff, a lot of really cool finds for sure. So make sure you're checking me out there. And as always, guys, until the next video, stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you all there.